Back to FX Rhapsody. Today we're going to be looking at Nasdaq. I've had a couple of comments from my followers just asking, let's talk about Nasdaq and then, how to trade Nasdaq, and especially when it comes to fundamentals and all those kind of things. But I'm going to make a three-part video series. It's going to be, the first one today is going to be just a little bit of introduction, and then also how to catch the trend, for that specific week/day, just to see which way Nasdaq is heading. And I'm going to give you a couple of tools how you can see that. Just go visit my website, bottom left corner, because we're going to be using some of my things that's on my website just to help you out catching the direction of the day. So what is Nasdaq? Those guys of you, for those of you that's not familiar with Nasdaq, Nasdaq is the Nasdaq 100 index is the basket of the 100 largest, most effectively traded US companies listed on the Nasdaq stock exchange. So basically, it's a combination. It's a big basket of companies, largest companies, which is traded, and due to fundamentals and all those kind of things, Nasdaq does get affected with the news and what's happening around the world, seeing that it's a stock exchange and one of the largest ones in the world. So we are looking at a daily time frame on Nasdaq, and how do we catch the daily trend or the daily bias of where Nasdaq is heading? First thing is, what I want to do is I want to go to my website, and then on my website you can find, there's a couple of things, but you can click on the resource tab and you can download the COT reports. Now the COT reports, I do analysis on this every week using the COT reports on all my currency pairs and all that, but you get a Nasdaq one as well that's in there. So just go download it and then you can use it freely. I update it every weekend as well. So this weekend this weekend's analysis, past weekend, we saw an update on the Nasdaq, and we saw a lot of longs being placed in the market and then more short. So basically, we could understand that the big banks and institutes are basically longing Nasdaq, and you can see this upwards movement in the trend there, or in Nasdaq, and this is the reason for this movement upwards. And as you can see, we started off the week, I think it was around about here. Okay, we are a couple of days in and we see that upwards movement. And then if you look at the COT reports, this is what we were expecting Nasdaq to do, scrolling out. There's lots of other things that you can look at, but I mean, on a fundamental basis, this is, the movement that I was showing on the COT reports. Now, another nice little thing is when you trade Nasdaq, always be aware of what the companies are doing in Nasdaq. All right. So to do that, what we do is, again, we go to my website on the bottom left corner, right around there. I've got the link in the description. And what you do is scroll down. And when you go down, there's all these neat little things. But at the bottom here, I've got the top 10 Nasdaq companies that is being traded. All right. Apple being first, Microsoft down. So you've got the top 10 Nasdaq companies, right? So every single day, excuse me, when New York opens just a little bit before Nasdaq opens. You go to my website, you look at this, and you look at the changes in the companies, right? So yesterday was a good indication because there's not a lot of movement now, obviously, because the markets are closed in New York. But as soon as the market opens, you'll see these changes being affected. And you can see a movement in the market. So what we have is we've got all greens, and this was yesterday, right? And this is the effect that we see here, this big push in the market. So this is one indication for a daily bias, right? So the day before, the previous day, I don't have obviously a screenshot of the day before, but usually what happens is we've got some of the bigger companies that goes into the red. Okay, the changes in the companies, meaning when Nasdaq or New York opens and Nasdaq opens, you can see that, let's say Microsoft is down or Apple is down and Amazon is down, but Tesla is up. But you look at the bigger companies with the biggest cap value, right? And those companies are the ones that if there's big changes in it, if there's a negative change in that, you will see a negative effect for that day. Okay, this is the daily one. But be wary, because this is just a daily movement. All right, a lot of things happens in this daily candle, and in this daily candle, this is a doji candle, but you know, on a daily time frame, it doesn't look like any movement because it shows you there's no movement. But if you drill down to your lower time frames, the movement in there could be massive, and that is what we're going to be talking about in my next videos. So this one is just a little introduction and just giving you a couple of tools and preparing you for what is coming in my next part of trading Nasdaq. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, go to my website, go use those tools so you can get a daily bias of what is going to happen to Nasdaq, and then we can prepare ourselves to going into how to place your trades and so forth. So guys, I hope you are having a wonderful week. Stay safe and happy trading, guys.